Hello everybody out there on YouTube, it's me, James, and I'm going to do a quick little review, or comparison review, of the 2002 Lionel Blue Comet 400E ornament by Hallmark compared to the 2019 Scout engine. So here we go. So I'm going to start with the 400E engine first because it's just, I've known this engine for a lot longer. Now, when I was little, one of my aunts gave me one of these engines when it was out. I was quite small back then. So this was one of the first times I had ever seen a Lionel train, and I absolutely destroyed it. So, as you do, you buy another one when you get older, and that's what I did. And it actually came in today, which was a lot of fun. Now, I'll tell you this, if there's one thing that I like about this engine, not only is it big and is it hefty, this thing actually weighs quite a lot, it came with a card. And on this card, you could write to, from, and a little holiday message. I still have the original card that mine came with, albeit it's a little bit more crinkled than this one, but I really like having the little collecting card. I don't know why, I just like it. Anyway, let me put that over there. So as we can see, here's the engine. It has nickel trim, meaning that this one is a later model of the 400E. The earlier 400E engines had copper and brass on them instead of the nickel trim. The nickel trim ones were the later and the last ones. And one thing I should note about this engine, it is almost entirely metal with the exception solely of the wheels and the side rods. So, there's that. And I really like how this engine rolls. The wheels never lock up because, unlike the rest of the ornaments that came out, this is the only Lionel train ornament that has quartered wheels. Now, what do I mean by that? The wheels are set 45 degrees apart from each other, just like a real steam engine is. So, when this thing moves, the side rods will never lock up. They always operate the way they're supposed to. I'll say this, if there's one thing that I could ever say that's a negative about this engine, is that you only get the locomotive. You don't get a tender. Now, of course, I could be a bit of a jerk and say, oh, well, there's the 2003 version, which is the mini ornament that you get the engine and tender, but that's not the same. Also, they only made one car for this engine. So you've got this, then you have the tender, and then you have the passenger car that comes with it. And it's only a baggage car, or a baggage combine, actually. So there's that. So I would say that's the only thing that I don't like about this. Other than that, this thing's a 10 out of 10 for sure. Also, the packaging it came in, the engine comes wrapped in this little plastic wrap, and then it's in this little plastic holding cell thingy, which is nice, so it doesn't rattle around while it's in there. And now on to this. This is the Lionel 1001 Scout engine. Now, as you can see, this engine rolls quite smoothly. It has plastic driving wheels as well as guide and trailing wheels, much like the 400E does. However, big difference is that the engine has metal side rods. However, as I said before, most Lionel steam engines that are released, at least the ornament ones, don't have their wheels quartered, so this tends to happen a lot, where the wheels will lock up and then the engine just kind of does this weird thing where it'll scoop like that and then the wheels will stop. But if you get them set right, you can roll it around like this. Now, one thing's for sure, the entire under chassis is plastic, but it does have a metal shell. And I would go as far as to say that both engines are similar in weight, however, this is a little bit, just a little heavier. And I'll say this, I mean, it's cool, but I do not like the matte finish it has. Because if anyone's ever had one of these, also you know this is not a Scout. This is anything but a Scout engine. I've had the real-life version of this engine, the 1001. It just did not have a horn on it. In fact, I had two of them at one point. But these little suckers are painted in a shiny black. So I think it would have been a lot better if these were painted the same sort of shiny black as the wheels were. Also, another thing, this engine does not really like to move that well, and it's very bland and boring. It's just all black. They don't even bother to pick out any of the details or anything like that. But it does have some amazing molded-in details. Heck, it even has a cab interior. Which I forgot to mention, this thing also has a cab interior, but it's prototypical to the toy. So there's that. Oops. Anyway. I will say this, though. This engine is far more durable when it comes to handling. Like, you could be rough with this thing, and nothing will happen to it. It'll work just fine, and it will look absolutely normal on your tree. However, this thing is incredibly fragile. If you heck, when I opened it out of the box, and I put it down, it flopped over, and the bell broke off, so I had to glue that back on. But no worries. So yeah, I'll say this though, it's a 9 out of 10. Not a full 10 out of 10, but it's a 9 out of 10, and it's pretty good. And the packaging for it is the box, and the whole thing is wrapped in this bubble wrap, which I really don't like. Well, I should take that back. It didn't come in bubble wrap. It came wrapped up in this paper, which, I mean, granted, yeah, you're saving the environment and all that sort of stuff using recyclables, but still, it doesn't really hold this little guy very well. And I fear that sometime if it ever popped out, then it would just fall and then break. And now I'm going to compare and contrast the prices. So the Blue Comet is $18.95. Basically, it's 20 bucks. And the modern one or the Scout engine is $9.99. So it's about $21. Now for the final verdict. Which one would I say is the best? Well, I say that both are the best. For sentimental value, yes, I love this one more, but with both of them, I love them almost equally, because they're fun little trains to play with, and they make really amazing ornaments on your tree. That is, if you even put them on your tree, which I know a good portion of everyone doesn't. But still, they're fantastic little trains, and they're great collectibles. Although I will say this, please be very wary of when you buy this engine, because you got to get it with the blue background on the packaging. That's how you know you're getting the full-size version. The tiny micro version has a green package, just a little FYI. But also, this one has a rare gold variant. So I guess there's that. But all in all, I like both of them. They're nice, they're fun, and they're just amazing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.